Friday.
God, remember that song?
Oh, I remember.
Friday.
It's Friday. Yeah, I remember on the radio we used to play that song.
I loved it
Friday.
accidentally.
Rebecca Black.
I
You guys-
actually did not love Friday. I loved Saturday. Remember when she made the sequel song? And I would make our producer play it all the time.
Sequel. We all needed a sequel to Rebecca Black's Friday song.
We did. Saturday was a great song. I love that song.
We just all needed that. Happy Friday, everybody. Happy Friday. We're off. Yes, Mike Shaw. We're off and running. It's a day. It's already been a morning for me. I'm in quite the mood. But you know, when I talk to Mock, I get in a better mood. You know, like I start off like swinging. I come
oh my gosh,
pre-show.
She was so mad.
I come into pre-show like cussing and swinging. And then after pre-show, I start calming down, like my blood pressure goes down. It's so crazy how Mock can do that. Mock gets people in a better mood.
No, it's you too. It's you, because remember earlier this week when I had my meltdown, I told you I cried 3 times in one day because I just hadn't had a really good cry in a while.
Yes.
And it's the same thing. Like my husband in the morning, he would be like, "Are you going to be okay? He's just so worried about me, like feeling sad and down or whatever." And then I was like, "Yeah, I'll be fine." And then and he was like, "Just get on your live with Amy Jo and just start giggling and it'll be fine." And that's exactly what happens.
Yeah,
what happens.
We start laughing about stupid crap and stupid people, and then we're okay. Everything is fine with the world.
Everything is fine.
I wish everybody had a best friend like
for
us.
real.
You know what I mean? Everything is better with the world.
You guys should really be jealous of us.
Yeah. So true.
I don't mean that how bad it sounds, but everybody should have a best friend.
Everybody should. It's pretty awesome, you guys. So make sure you go to our website at chicksontheright.com, and then also go to chicksontheright.com/links, because that's where all of our fabulous socials are. And really, our socials are awesome.
Not in different ways.
Not to toot our own horns, toot, but they're pretty awesome. Like, she handles our Twitter and I handle our Instagram, and they're equally really fun, different, but equally fun.
Yeah.
You need to totally check them out.
And then every now and then I do stuff on our TikTok, but it's rare. Like our
TikTok is kind of taken off. I mean, Mock will go out there. She'll do a little single, double out there every once in a while. You know,
I really don't do that.
Yeah, you should. That was pretty good for early in the morning. I was doing a little Axl Rose. You guys should check that out. So check out all of our socials. God, I need more bone frog. It's been a morning. Do that. chicksontheright.com/links.
Yes. Check that out. Faux show. Did I tell you, this is like apropos of nothing, but when I have to do my next surgery, the gum surgery on the other side, I scheduled it unbeknownst to me at the time. But when I went back and looked at my calendar, it is on National Chicks on the Right Day.
Is it November 3rd, right?
Yeah. November
3rd is National Chicks on the Right Day. Why'd you do that?
I don't know. I wasn't thinking until I went back and saw on my actual desktop calendar. Oh, that's what that day is. I just scheduled it. They were like first Friday in November. And I was like, sure, that's great.
I hope everybody there brings you balloons, because everybody should know it's National Chicks on the Right Day. November 3rd, you guys mark your calendars.
Mark your calendar. Actually,
National Chicks on the Right Day.
My periodontist is not. I think he might know who I am. And so he's not nice to me at all.
Is he he's a liberal?
I mean, this is a man who has literally as his Facebook cover photo a picture of the Obamas.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I saw that before I ever went to him, and I was like, do I do this? Do I not do this? And I did it. And I think he did a phenomenal job. Like, I'm really happy with how this all went, because I was terrified, as you know. But he will not play. Like,
you should ask him about their chef.
Just bring that up and just
bring it up
in conversation.
Do it after the surgery.
I tried so hard to get him to play, to be playful in my.
He doesn't want to.
Oh my God. So like
playful.
When I got my stitches removed the other day, I wanted to talk to him about how weird the anesthesia was that I had, because it wasn't like a wisdom tooth twilight where you're completely out and then you act funky afterwards. And it wasn't general, but it was IV sedation. And I remember it. I remember the entire thing. I remember following commands. I remember the music that was playing. I remember all of it, but I didn't care about any of it, right? I didn't feel it and I didn't care about, but I remembered it. And I wanted to ask him about it because I thought that was really cool.
That is
right?
kinda it's weird and cool,
Yeah.
yeah.
I was like, what kind of crazy ass sedation do you guys use here? Because you were playing the 80s station, and I remember specifically Safety Dance playing. And also, I know that you were telling me what to do and that I was doing it. Like you would say, bite
Were you
down.
doing the safety dance?
I was I
We can
wasn't doing the
dance if we
safety
want
dance.
to. Yeah.
But I was absolutely following directions. Like if he would say bite harder or open your mouth wider, I would do everything, and I was completely. I
And he didn't wanna
knew.
tell you what that was?
Well,
He didn't want
he instead of like, because I was trying to be fun about it, and instead of like being fun back, he gets all like super scientific, and he was like, "Well, we use a combination of such and such and such and such in the IV, and
and you're a
otherwise."
conservative, so go blow. Oh god, okay. All right,
It was
liberal.
so weird. It was
God.
just so weird.
Maybe somebody, like, can be playful here and tell us more about that. It's like,
Conscious
God,
sedation is
conscious
what Sandy
sedation?
says it is. It was so cool.
Jeez.
I mean, I was like, I want that again. Like that was really badass.
That sounds awesome.
It was just really cool. And plus I had 2 Valium on top of whatever it was that he
That sounds
remember, 'cause
amazing.
yeah, it was
Yeah,
awesome. It was not
okay.
propofol. In fact, I know specifically it was not because he said it was not propofol. We don't use that. Otherwise, you'd have to be in a hospital setting and like
Somebody put midazolam. That's I don't know.
Bam-a-lam. That
I
sounds like a
know.
song.
That's exactly what I was thinking in my mind, Mark. Bam a lamb. Yeah.
Wow, we have gotten to absolutely no news.
We haven't. We have so much news, you guys. So much news. You can tell. Right.
Oh my gosh. We got carried away. I'm very, very sorry.
Sorry.
I don't even know how we
Sorry,
got on that topic.
Sorry, everybody.
Doesn't matter.
Liberal doctors suck. I think we've all determined that. They're no fun.
They don't play, and
They're
that's
no
not
fun.
okay. They're really not any fun at all.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to share my screen for a second while we talk about Bone Frog Coffee and while you drink your Bone Frog Coffee, because one of the things that you may not know about Bone Frog Coffee is that they have merch, and it is awesome.
Oh, yes,
Like,
it is.
obviously, we have our mugs. I mean, we've shown the.
I do,
we've
and
shown
I don't
you our
have mine
mugs.
with me. I'm sorry, because it's a little bit bigger. I needed a giant.
But
bag
look
of
at
coffee
how
this morning.
badass this one, the one on the right is.
That is completely bad. I need that one.
Right?
It's like a
love it.
Viking mug. It's a Viking mug.
It looks so just like, I just love it. It's such a badass one. And they have these awesome t-shirts too. So if you might already have your delicious coffee subscription going right now, and that's fantastic. But if maybe you don't like coffee, but you still want a way to help out this amazing organization, Bone Frog Coffee, amazing organization that helps vets and particularly SEALs and their families. If you would like to help them, but you're not a coffee drinker, look at all the options that you have. Okay. So this is another way that you can support Bone Frog Coffee and that you can support us in our support of Bone Frog Coffee. So wanted to make sure that everybody knew about the merch. But also, obviously, if you are a coffee drinker, there is no better coffee. There just isn't. And so I don't know why. I don't know. There should be no question that you should order up some coffee. They have all kinds of different coffees, whether you need decaf or whether you want like the full blast. What is it? The door kicker that has like super extra blast of caffeine.
Such a great name.
Oh, right?
Such great coffee.
It really is. And all of their blends are just absolutely delicious. You are going to love it. You can check it out at bonefrogcoffee.com. And if you do a subscription order, you will save 10% on that order when you use code CHICKS at checkout. So please, please, please support this amazing, best customer service ever organization, bonefrogcoffee.com.
We have a lot of news. A lot of stuff
we need to go
today,
to
you
news.
guys. A lot of stuff.
All right. Well, let's just get rid of a few little headlines first, shall we?
Let's do it. If you can't have caffeine, She Who Laughs, they do make a decaf because I actually do decaf. It's very unfortunate that I have to do that, but I have to do decaf now.
Well, at least it still tastes delicious.
But their decaf is awesome. Yeah.
All right. So a few things. I know earlier this week, maybe even yesterday, is it when I was like super bitchy about DeSantis not doing our show?
Yeah, she's very bitchy. Well, yesterday we were talking about that. We were talking about how he hasn't come on our show and he hasn't come on Megyn Kelly's show.
Well, he has now, not our
Mhm.
show, Megyn Kelly's show. It was funny because somebody on Twitter was like, "Do you guys really feel like you're entitled to have him on your show?"
Yeah, I do.
And I was like,
I
well,
do.
I said, that was not my answer. I said,
okay.
no, we're not entitled, but we also don't deserve to be blown off, had false promises made, be teased in the way that we have by the folks in their campaign. We don't deserve that. They should just say no. You know what I mean? Instead of
Agreed.
being like, yeah, we're totally going to have him on and we're going to check his schedule and we're doing this and that. And here's all the swag. I'm tired of that. That's my problem.
Just listen. If you don't want to go to prom with us, just say no.
Right. Just say no. Don't tease. Don't be a tease. Like,
Exactly.
that's not okay.
We can handle it. We're big girls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're fine. But he did go on Megyn Kelly's show, and that is actually being aired today at noon. And we have a preview clip of that to show. We'll do that in a little bit. But I'm super stoked to hear a Megyn, and she went to him. It appears like she's sitting in like his house, his governor's whatever mansion that he has. And so, and I think they spent a significant amount of time together, and you know that she can be a tough interview. So I'm very, very much looking forward to that. So I think that airs at noon today on her various platforms. So if you want to check that out, you should. Yesterday, we also mentioned that Carly Russell, that we weren't sure if she was going to be charged or not, but that if she were, she would probably be looking at either a year in prison or a $6,000 fine. The latest headlines I read say that she will be charged. Police do plan to charge her. I just don't know when that's happening, but that's good news, right?
Yeah, it's great news. I just hope it's more than what they're saying. You know what I mean? It's like $6,000 in a year because she won't get a year.
I don't even know if she can get both. Like I don't even. It may be one or the other. I'm not sure. So
and it's never like what they say it's going to be. Like if they say that person's getting 9 years in prison, they usually get like 5 years and then they're out. So she won't get a year in prison, which sucks.
It does.
She should get a year in prison.
There should be a huge deterrent to not fake your own kidnapping.
Exactly.
So, yeah. Also, Brangelina, if you have been as sick and tired as I have been of this divorce not finalizing between Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt, I swear to God, they've been getting divorced for like 20 years.
Yeah, they have. Yeah.
It may finally become.
And it took them 20 years to get married. And then when they finally got married, they were like, nah, never mind.
When they finally got married, they were like, let's adopt and have 12 kids.
Yeah.
And then hate each other.
Yeah.
So, but they have she has agreed to involve a mediator. And so we're expecting that will mediate out.
I wish I had, I mean, it's okay. Maybe I don't wish this upon myself, but to have like the problem of like a $300 million winery between me and my husband, I feel like that would be a decent problem to have.
And what was the fight? Was it one of them didn't want to sell it and one of them did want to sell it or something like that?
Yeah, something like that. I mean, but it's like, oh, the problems of celebrities. Oh,
God,
it must be terrible to have those problems. God, give me a break.
They're just exhausting.
I know they are exhausting.
All right. So that should take care of some of just the basic headlines before we get to the big news of the day, which is, of course, that Trump has been charged with more things related to the classified documents case. Now, we're going to have some clips about that. We're going to have a couple clips from CNN because, of course, they're relishing this new news. And then we'll have Josh Hawley. Republicans are very angry, as you might expect, about these new charges being tacked on to the already existing indictment. They're adding 3 charges. The one good news about it is that because they're adding a third person to the indictment. Right now, there's Trump, obviously, and then that Walt Nauta guy, that like right-hand man dude who is also charged.
This is right-hand man. It's the universal sign for right-hand man.
So that was it, right? And then we were like, oh, okay. So now it's sounding like there's going to be a trial in May. I think it was the plan that it was going to be in May. Well, now that there's a third person being added to the indictment and being charged, this, what's his name? Carlos de Oliveira. That guy is going to have to get his attorney, he's going to have to get an attorney. There's going to be a whole new element to this whole case, which means that it is very unlikely that this trial will happen before the election, which is good news for Trump, right? Because he's always advocated for not wanting to have this trial before the election, because that would really be election interference. So that's the one piece of good news for Trump. The bad news is that if you read the 60-page indictment, he's pretty guilty.
And you read it. You read it.
Yeah. And because now there's like a very specific timeline, there's text messages, there's clear evidence of he and his staff collaborating to try to hide and get rid of evidence. And so that's bad. Now, all that said, is it as bad as what the Bidens have done? No, not even close. And there are these 2 tiers of justice, which is ridiculous. But it's going to be very difficult for Trump to weasel his way out of guilt on this.
Okay, so hypothetically, say they get him on it and he like goes, say he becomes president.
Right. That's the biggest hope I have, is that, because we have to hope for that.
Right.
Because otherwise we're so borked.
Right. So he goes to president. I mean, sorry, he becomes president. He gets convicted somehow. And then he pardons himself?
He could, or if that doesn't look good, then maybe he has his VP do it, because his VP would then presumably become president.
Take
maybe.
Over.
And then that VP could be like, you know what, I'm going to pardon Trump and bring him back. I don't know how it all works.
Then the VP would pardon him. Yeah. So then the hope would be that he picks somebody really kick ass for vice president.
Yeah.
That's the hope. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't know, because this is the kind of thing where, there could, because I rolled my eyes. I'm not going to lie. I rolled my eyes through the entire indictment, because I was like, why did you, this was so easy to avoid. You know what I mean? And I think there was nothing that he had. This was all avoidable. I think that the only reason that Trump is in trouble is because he has an ego, and he just was like, these are my papers and I'm going to keep them and nobody can tell me otherwise. And if he would have just been like, yeah, I probably shouldn't have kept these, here you go, this would not be an issue. But now there's all this evidence that he went to great lengths to cover it up and to have his staff hide it, even to the point where the Carlos de Oliveira guy, he even emptied out the pool at the resort in order to flood the room that kept the video surveillance server footage, like the old video surveillance that Trump was asking about, like, how can we get rid of this? Because we don't want the video evidence of us carrying boxes from room to room. So anyway, it's just a big fat hullabaloo, and it's bad. It's just that it's infuriating that they're moving forward with these charges when Biden is so guilty of so many things.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's like, it's 2 separate things, right? I mean, he may have done stuff that was probably unsavory.
Yeah.
Biden did stuff that's completely illegal.
Oh my God.
But they're not doing anything to Biden. So, I mean, it goes back to the whole, there's 2 tiers of justice.
Exactly.
Right?
That's
absolutely
exactly right.
2 tiers of justice. So, and everybody knows that.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, that's the thing, is that, I'm sure, I haven't read the comments, but I'm sure people are like, Mock is just ripping on Trump. Listen, this has happened. We got to tell you about it. And so I highly encourage everybody to go read the full indictment. And if you can get through 60 pages of that and think Trump didn't do anything wrong, I just question your sanity. Now, does that mean that the DOJ should be pursuing charges? No, because these charges pale in comparison to everything that Biden's family has done.
Right, exactly.
I mean, both of those things can be true at the same time.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that our government isn't completely corrupt and it's and it's biased as hell.
Oh my gosh.
It's so biased. So freaking biased. Yeah.
Oh my God.
And we're watching that happen before our eyes. But they're going to do whatever. I mean, I think the thing that sucks is that if he, does something that is just even minuscule, they're going to jump on it.
Oh yeah.
It just sucks. And they're probably going to do it. And so now that we know this, it's like, okay, well, we buckle up, everybody.
Yeah.
It's going to be a ride.
But they have screwed themselves in some ways, just because now there's no possible way. I don't know how they could ever have this trial before the election. And so, that's the price they paid for adding this new dude to the indictment. And I don't know how this Carlos guy and Walt, are going to stay loyal? That's the big question. Like, if they know that I mean, now Walt, who's been saying like, I didn't know about any documents. Well, now there's all these text messages between him and Trump, between him and this Carlos
That
guy.
show that he did.
Yeah, that showed them talking about moving them and hiding them and concealing evidence. So I don't know how his loyalty, and I know that's what Trump cares about the most, but how he would be looking at the fact that he has his own family and all of this to deal, how he won't take a deal. Like, I don't see that. No, I
Right.
don't see that not happening. I think
Yeah.
both these guys are going to take a deal.
Because they don't want to go to jail.
Exactly. And yeah, I mean, and they were also, it's like one of those things where they probably knew that what they were doing was wrong, but they've got their boss telling them, you need to do this. And
The
so
president.
there's, you know what I mean?
The freaking president. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I don't know how this is going to shake out. At the same time, Fulton County in Georgia, in front of the courthouse, they're putting up these giant barriers like yesterday and today, because now there's talk that there could be another indictment coming at Trump from the January 6th stuff.
Oh, for crying out loud.
I know. And so like, and that's utterly ridiculous.
It is
utterly
so ridiculous. It's completely ridiculous. Yeah. I mean, this is the thing. They're going to get them on anything. So the bottom line is there are two tiers of justice. Brace yourselves. This is happening. It's happening. Whether we like it or not, it's happening.
Yeah, and the timing is so sus, because like, of course, all the Hunter Biden stuff was in the news, and now all of a sudden they're like, oh, we got to charge some new things.
Right.
I mean,
and what does this do to the psyche of the American people? I don't know. I don't know if people are going to get riled up or if it's going to make people exhausted. I don't know. I think there's probably going to be two tiers there. Like there's going to be some people who are going to be super exhausted and just over it. And then there's going to be some people who are going to be just so pissed off about this that it will incentivize them to go vote even more for Republicans. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't have a good sense.
I don't either. Because I see both. I see both just in my inner circle. I see both as a precinct chair. I see both here. So I don't know. I don't know what that means. It's just it will be very interesting over the next year to see what happens.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will.
It should piss you off, Jim. Yeah. I mean, it pisses me off. To me, I hope it does piss people off, not because I want anybody to be violent, but I want people to be charged up to go do something about it from a civics perspective.
Yeah.
I don't want people to become complacent. I feel like Republicans have become complacent over the past 14 years, I think, since we've been doing this. I think Republicans have become way too damn complacent.
Well, and that's the exhaustion part. Like, if there are people that are just exhausted by it, that's what I worry about, is that the exhaustion just keeps them home. Me
too. I'm so afraid of that. So I hope that I hope it lights a fire under people and it makes them say, enough is enough. We have to do something about this. We can't just keep letting these people steamroll us and the only way we're going to do that is to vote, is to overwhelm them.
Yeah.
We have to.
And whatever happens in the primary happens. Like, that's not even important. The focus is the general. Whoever it is that we're going to be voting for the GOP, and it's very likely that will be Trump, everybody's got to rally.
Right.
Everybody's got to rally.
It is good versus evil, Scott. It is good. At this point, it is it's like spiritual warfare. It is good versus evil at this point.
Absolutely. And when the shit hits the fan, you want to be prepared. That you can do by going to 4patriots.com. You can get 10% off your first purchase at 4patriots.com when you use code CHICKS. And might I suggest, for example, the Solar Go fridge, which we talked about the other day, but just as a reminder, this is that, like, it looks like a cooler, but essentially it's a fridge on the go that you can make sure that your medicines that require refrigeration or just food in general that you need to keep frozen or cold will stay frozen or cold in the event of a power outage.
It's good for camping and boats and tailgating. If you're into football, I'm just saying, we used to tailgate. It would have been great for that. I wish I would have had one.
Oh my gosh, they're amazing because it comes with like a battery pack that's solar powered. So it doesn't matter if you have power or not, you're going to be able to keep your items cold without ice, which means you have more room to store those items. So it's a fantastic product. You can check it out at 4patriots.com. Just search on the solar fridge and you'll see it, the Go fridge. It is pretty awesome. And again, 10% off if that's something that you pick for your first order at 4patriots.com. All right. One thing we didn't mention in all of these new charges is that, remember how there was like some controversy in the last indictment about that recording, that audio of Trump like waving around papers and saying, I could have declassified this, but now I can't because I'm no longer president. Remember?
Yeah.
And then the defense of his team's defense was to say, well, he was just, that was just like newspaper articles. It wasn't anything. It wasn't top secret stuff. It wasn't classified stuff. Well, now this new indictment shows evidence that in fact it was. They have the document that was included in what he kept behind. It was actually the document that described war strategy against a certain country. And so that has also been added to this charge. You're going to hear CNN. I've got 2 clips of CNN just kind of breaking down this news, and then Josh Hawley's reaction at the end. First, here's your friend, Ellie.
Ellie. It's Ellie.
It's Ellie at CNN.
A major breakthrough in this case. And just to refresh our viewers' memories, there is an incident charged in the initial indictment and charged again in this new indictment where Donald Trump is showing people with no security clearance after he's left the White House, people who are writing a book about Mark Meadows. He's ruffling documents and telling them to look at this. He says, I could have declassified when I was in office, but I didn't. And there had been some question, as Caitlin just laid out, about whether there was an actual classified document he was showing or whether he was just puffing or exaggerating. And as Caitlin said, Donald Trump's representative said it was the latter. Now we know that's not true. Now we know the document Donald Trump was showing these people with zero security clearance was an actual highly classified document that had to do with war plans. And we know DOJ has that document. They've now added a charge against Donald Trump. And why this is so important is because this is the one incident in the whole indictment where Donald Trump most flagrantly disseminates the information, where it's not just sitting in boxes in his bathroom or on the stage at Mar-a-Lago, which is bad, which is potentially criminal, but it's the one most flagrant incident where he's taking that information and giving it out to somebody. And that's why it's such an important and dangerous moment in this case.
It certainly is.
Why do they always have like a lecture hall as a panel? It's like, it's so stupid. It's hard for me to take them seriously.
Somebody said, what's with the Brady Bunch screen?
It's exactly what it's like. It's like, it's so hard for me to look at them and be like, this serious journalist like panel. Because there's so many of them. It's just distracting. My ADD kicks in and I'm just like, I can't focus. God, stop it, CNN.
Well, you could see, you could hear it, even though there were so many squares, so many Hollywood squares on there.
It's a story.
You could hear the breathless excitement in Ellie's voice, right?
So yeah.
He's definitely very, very pleased about all this. And so too is Aaron Burnett, who is also super excited about these new charges. You can just tell.
They lay this out again. Employee number 4 is the director of information technology for Mar-a-Lago, and it does appear this individual cooperated. So De Oliveira goes into the IT office, talks to employee number 4, takes him to a small room, pulls him away from everybody, and tells this individual, I want this conversation to remain between the two of us, and asks how many days the server retains the video. The person responds, about 45 days. And then De Oliveira insisted to Trump employee 4 that the boss wanted the server deleted and asked, what are we going to do? It's all here.
It's all there. It reads like a spy novel. That's what you would do. You would try to get the IT guy to wipe out the the video footage. I mean, it's just astonishing that this is what Trump wanted to do. He wanted to destroy evidence of a crime. I mean, that's really what this is.
And I should know, though, Ryan, what I just said is obviously what somebody said.
Yes.
This is a little different than a text message. But when you add it together with what I just laid out, the dates, the timestamps, the text messages, is this black and white?
Oh, yes. And also,
Wow. It's black and white, you guys. It's astonishing.
I mean, to be fair, it is. Like, it is black and white, and there was a lot of screw-ups that happened. But again, this should not even be something that he was indicted for, because Biden's, Clinton's, everybody did way worse than this.
I was going to say, look away from the 33,000 emails. Look away from Biden and his son, like making shady deals and putting America up for sale. Look away. Look away.
And do you keep hearing like all of these people saying there's no evidence that Joe Biden had anything to do with all of the business, whatever? Why does the Biden family business just willy-nilly create 20 shell companies that provide no service, provide no product?
I was going to say, what is the business? What is it?
And this is no evidence? Are you crazy? Then what is that evidence of? What is that?
That's my biggest question here.
God.
Like you and I, we have an LLC, right? We have to provide like, what do we do? You know what I mean? That's like the biggest effing question that they ask the government when we pay a ridiculous amount of bend me over taxes. Okay. Like the one question, what do you do? What product, what service, what do you provide the people? Before we take like half your money, tell us what it is that you do here. What is it that the Bidens do in their family business?
Mm-hmm.
What can somebody tell me that? What is it? Like what product? It's not blow art.
No.
What is it?
Exactly. And they're like, there's no evidence. There's a million pounds of evidence.
Exactly.
Oh my God. All right. So
I know, my blood pressure is going up again. It's going way up again.
Josh Hawley represents what a lot of Republicans are feeling right now with, when it comes to the timing of these new charges and just the charges in general.
They just keep piling on Trump from every corner.
Yeah, now, Laura, we're down to charging like random people, just throwing those into the indictments. Is it any coincidence that the DOJ rushes to add these new indictments today after the Hunter debacle, after their own self-dealing and two-timing is exposed, after they tried to hide from us the true extent of this plea deal? That gets blown up, and then it's like, oh, we got to go indict Trump on something else. I mean, it's so brazen right now what they're doing. It is really a subversion of the rule of law. I mean, they're taking the rule of law, turning it on its head, and Laura, we cannot allow this to stand. The American people are not going to be safe. Our system of government is not going to be safe if this is going to be the new standard.
I mean,
we're already not safe. None of us are safe.
Really bad.
Seriously, we're not. Because I mean, I look at what's happening to him, and I've been saying this forever now. It's like they can do it to him, they can do it to you, they can do it to me, they can do it to all of us. I just hear the black helicopters in my backyard. They're coming for me. You know? Every day when I say stuff about anybody, they're coming for me.
Oh my God. Well, and maybe we'll just do this piece now. So, we've played a lot of footage of the hearings that have been taking place all week long, whether it's Secretary Mayorkas getting grilled by the likes of Hawley and others. Garland, there's a lot of question marks around how he's handled all of this Department of Justice stuff, particularly now with that plea agreement being so freaking sketch. And so naturally, Republicans are like, people need to be impeached. Garland needs to be impeached. Mayorkas needs to be impeached.
Right.
These people are absolutely failing in their jobs. And so because of that, we've got clowns like Adam Schiff who are saying what he's about to say out loud is going to make your head explode, you guys. Just think about the Russia thing and what kind of audacity it takes for him to say this.
I think the Republican desire to impeach someone, anyone, no matter whether there's any evidence, just shows how they have descended into chaos.
Oh my God. I can't. Like that. Hi. Gaslighting. Hi.
Wow.
Hello. I mean, it's like what it's unbelievable that he could say that out loud.
Oh my God.
Hi. Yeah, project much.
Right?
Mm-hmm. It's that's Marxism, right? That's like, seriously, that's part of the rule book. That's part of like the Alinsky rule book, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like you just start projecting onto onto the people that you want to destroy. Like you just start projecting all the things that you're doing. That's what they're doing. That's what they've been doing for the past couple of years. They just keep projecting and projecting and projecting. And we're over here going, but what about
But did you not see the million pounds of evidence over here?
Did you? But
look at the freak standing behind Nancy Pelosi.
I know, that San Francisco lady. You guys, this is how I know that aliens exist. Like they're already here. She is one. How you can't? All the people yesterday were like, "No, Daisy, aliens. The aliens are not here." Look at it. Look at that.
Yeah. Explain this then.
Explain it at once. Come on.
The reason that I'm about to play you a clip of Nancy Pelosi is just because, in light of what you just saw from Adam Schiff, I want you to listen to the words that she uses to describe him. And just, does everybody have like a bucket nearby, maybe a trash can nearby, just in case? Just have that nearby.
Let me applaud you, Adam Schiff, whose name is synonymous with courage, with patriotism, with restoring the faith of the American people in our government.
Oh my God.
Their faith and the governance, good governance, gives people hope about our country, its future, and their particular challenges.
Why are her hands like this? Why does she do this with her hands?
I don't know, man.
Is it because she's 150 and she's like, I've got the arthritis and I can't. And she's another old one that needs to go away. He's not synonymous. He is a liar. He is such a liar. He lies in lying McLietown all the time. He is the biggest liar, again, with the projection. This is what they do.
And she's trying to say that he has restored people's faith in government?
Yeah.
What?
Is this why Congress has like a 2% approval rating? Is this why? Delusion, like completely delusional. Remember you guys, our first post on chicksontheright.com, like I did a post of Nancy Pelosi clapping like this. She's clapping like this. And there was one of those monkeys that has like the symbol right next to her clapping like that. Cause that's her. I'll never forget that. It was it's one of my fondest memories of being a chick on the right. It's the very first post we ever did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And speaking of Hunter, amazingly, Claire McCaskill, after whom I'm named today, Claire McCaskill is still going on with that whole line about how the only thing that Biden has done wrong is love his drug addicted son. And that's what Republicans are trying to weaponize, is his love of his drug addicted son. So here she is, like tripling, quadrupling down on that idea.
What accusations and arguments do you think they're going to make, given this didn't go exactly as planned today?
Well, they're going to keep doing what they've been doing. They are going to try to indict a father for loving his son who has been addicted to drugs and or alcohol, and without evidence of the father doing anything other than loving that son.
There's no evidence.
There's no evidence at all. Yeah, we're trying to indict a father for loving his son. That's what we're doing. God, we're such assholes. How dare us do that? God, I can't believe we're trying to do that. We're terrible. We're just heartless, you guys.
That's all he's done. That's all Joe Biden has done. Those 20 shell companies. Shh.
Yeah. Shh. And the sex trafficking and the bringing hookers across state lines. I mean, it's right. It's all because, it's just the drugs, you guys. He just needs to love him. If we just leave him alone and let him love his son so he can get back to doing the drugs and getting the hookers. We're so judgy.
Now, I will say, KJP surprised me yesterday. She was asked directly if Hunter Biden actually faces consequences for all of the charges that he's looking at right now and possibly future ones. Will his dad pardon him? Now, I would have expected that would have been either a non-answer from KJP or that she would have said, yes, he will. That would have been my expectation.
Right. Because she never answers questions clearly. Like, she'll say clearly and then never answer clearly.
Right. But to my surprise, this is how she answered the question.
Go back to the first question of the briefing. I know you said not a lot's changed since yesterday and that it's a personal matter, but from a presidential perspective, is there any possibility that the president would end up pardoning his son?
No.
Well, is there,
I just said no. I just answered. Go ahead.
Wow. That's crazy.
Right?
Yeah, that was very unexpected.
Totally unexpected.
She didn't hesitate.
I just like, is that, I mean, do you think that she actually had a conversation with Joe Biden saying, if I get asked if you're going to pardon your son, should I say no?
Yeah. What do I say? And the answer is no. I'm going to let him rot. I've had enough because he really loves his son, right? He loves his drug addicted son.
That's what Claire McCaskill says.
Exactly. That's what she says. So much so that he's going to let him rot in jail.
I just was surprised by that. I was very, very surprised.
I mean, maybe they're just so sure that he's not going to go to jail.
And yeah, that's probably what it is. And she's just saying no because it's not going to even happen.
Never going to happen.
Yeah, that's probably right. And speaking of KJP, there's been a lot of questions, not just about Biden's health, but now we've got McConnell having his episode. We've got Feinstein, who's just a complete mess. And I'll show you a new clip of her in just a moment. But, people are asking a lot of questions about Biden's state of mind and his own visiting angels, America's joys and home care. I mean, he's not well, you guys. And so the press has questions about that. And they're very frustrated, as they should be, that he never attends these press conferences. He never takes questions from them ever.
Because he's napping.
Of it.
He's napping, you guys.
So they press her on that, and specifically about his health. They say, listen, in order to just make all these questions go away, why not just have him come talk to us? And here's what she says.
As far as the questions about the president's health, I think that would be all cleared up if, once again, if we could just ask him to step out of that door into this room for 45 minutes. And so I ask you again to pass that along to him, to ask him to come out and see.
Here's a note.
I appreciate the request. Thank you for the request. The president, as you know, again, I appreciate the question and I get it. And the president understands. You guys want to ask him questions and have the opportunity for him to answer your questions. I do want to say this is a president that has done more in the first 2.5 years when it comes to the economy, when it comes to really giving the American people a little bit of breathing room than any other president. All you got to do is look at the data. All you got to do is look at where we are in this country. There was a conversation for almost 2 years about a recession. And now you have economists saying that because of the work that this president has done these past 2 years, we're not headed in that way. And so, this is a president that wakes up every morning thinking about the American people and doing that job and doing the work. And you see that. You see that, again, in historic pieces of legislation, whether it's the bipartisan infrastructure legislation. That was a joke. Infrastructure Week was a joke. And now we're talking about infrastructure decade. Chips and Science Act, we're able to do that in a bipartisan way. You're going to see the president in Maine tomorrow talking about how to bring jobs back to this country, how to bring manufacturing back to this country.
Why doesn't he push back? Why doesn't that guy push back?
I don't know.
She didn't answer the question. These journalists suck. They totally suck. If I were in that room, I would immediately push back on her. You didn't answer my question.
Right.
You stupid
I didn't
broad.
ask for a list of what you think are his accomplishments. I asked when he's going to show his face in this room.
And what she does is she repeats his question. It's like such a tactic, I'm on to you, lady. Stop repeating what I just asked you and answer the damn question. This is the thing. Why doesn't anybody call her out? Just do
I
it.
have no idea.
Like
I have
somebody
no idea.
buy a set of balls and just call this lady out. Why can we do that? Can we buy somebody some balls? Let's buy somebody a set of balls, send it to the White House, send it to the press corps, and just say, somebody ask her a legit question and then do a follow-up.
Or just bring Peter Doocy back wherever he is hanging out with Andrea Tantaros now. Where is he?
They don't let him back in anymore because he actually tried to do a follow-up every once in a while. These people just don't do it. God, they're useless. Drives me crazy. God. I mean, nobody cares. And the president doesn't wake up every morning thinking about us. He's thinking about pudding. Everybody knows that.
Well, speaking of health and age, as I mentioned, Dianne Feinstein, just a complete mess right now. So what you're about to see is super, super cringe. But this was a roll call vote that was taking place in the Senate yesterday. And roll call votes typically go like this. Feinstein, aye. Hawley, nay. That's how it goes, right? It's just a one-word answer. That's how you do a roll call vote. She has no idea what's happening. She doesn't know where she is. She doesn't know what she's doing. Here's what happened. Pay close attention to her staff who try to rescue her.
Senator Feinstein.
Oh my God.
Say aye. Pardon me? Aye.
Oh my
God. Just say I would like to support a yes vote on this.
Oh my God.
It provides $823 billion.
Oh my
That's
God.
an increase of $26 billion for the Department of Defense, and it funds priorities submitted.
Yeah, just say aye.
Okay, just
Oh my God.
aye.
Thank you.
I mean,
She's 90. God. She's 90, you guys.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like we have a minimum age in order to run for president, right? It's 35, isn't it? That's the minimum. Is it 35?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have a minimum in this country to run for president. Why don't we have a maximum? Why is there not a maximum on when you just serve in general?
Right.
In any capacity in our government? Like there should be a maximum and it should be 68.
I would even start 70 seems like a nice number. You know what I mean?
70 is fine.
70 and be done.
I think 70 is fine. 70 is it. Like you're done. You're done at 70. I'm serious. Like I'm so tired of seeing these old people like look like that. She has no business doing this. Mitch McConnell has no business.
Chuck Grassley. I mean,
no business.
To be of sound mind, but
Joe
he's
Biden,
91.
No business. Yeah, people. I mean, okay, 72, whatever. But you guys, like, this is insane. It's insane.
It is.
I know, and people are saying Trump is 77.
I don't like that. These are our choices.
I don't. The choices suck.
Mm-hmm.
This is the thing. There are requirements for people to be a certain age, like young wise. Why there should be a minimum and a maximum, and we go within that window. Bye.
Yeah, exactly.
This is so dumb.
There was a hearing yesterday on the Hill about trans women in sports, and it was pretty, it was emotional. I will say that. So I've got a couple of sound bites for you. First, pieces of opening statements from Paula Scanlon, who I believe was on Leah Thomas's team, or she may have competed against. I think she was on that team. And then also testimony from Chloe Cole, who is a detransitioner. So this is a female who transitioned or tried to transition to a male, super regretted it, now has transitioned back. But obviously there are things that she did to herself that are irreversible. And so she's you'll hear a piece of her story. So we'll do those first. And then we've got some reaction, some hilarious reaction too. First, here's Paula.
Ask, why do I speak so passionately about issues that seem hypothetical or some may perceive as only impacting a small number of women? This is not hypothetical. This is real. I know women who have lost roster spots and spots on the podium. I know of women with sexual trauma who are adversely impacted by having biological males in their locker room without their consent. I know this because I am one of these women. I was sexually assaulted on June 3rd of 2016. I was only 16 years old. I I was able to forgive my attacker, but violence against women still exists. Let us not forget the viral Me Too movement that empowered female victims to speak up. It casts a spotlight on the widespread prevalence of sexual assault and abuse, including in scholarly and educational institutions. Individuals on this committee have previously stated violence against women is all too common. I am grateful for those members who have brought awareness to the violence against women in the past, but unfortunately, there's still much to be done. As a sexual assault survivor, many policies pushed today completely ignore my experiences and many women like me. I ask the members of this committee, please consider this issue outside the lens of political affiliations and understand the true impact of ignoring the realities of womanhood. Future generations depend on us. Thank you for the opportunity to speak here today.
So how does Megan Rapinoe feel about that?
Yeah, I don't even.
She would just, she completely discount this chick, right? She would just be like, "Oh, she doesn't matter," because because trans people. But yet, like 5 years ago, it would have been all about the Me Too movement and like equal pay for women and feminism and yay woman, yay woman, yay woman. But now that I'm not playing anymore, screw this chick.
Yeah,
these women are insufferable.
They're awful. Absolutely awful. And here's Chloe. Chloe, again, is the detransitioner. So she went through a whole big mess of stuff, messing up her body like crazy. Now is back to her birth, sex, and gender, and has full of regret. She's full of regret, and she doesn't want other parents to make the same mistakes with their kids.
So what message do I want to bring to American teenagers and their families? I didn't need to be lied to. I needed compassion. I needed to be loved. I needed to be given therapy to help me work through my issues, not affirm to my delusion that by transforming into a boy, it would solve all my problems. We need to stop telling 12-year-olds that they were born wrong, that they are right to reject their own bodies and feel uncomfortable with their own skin. We need to stop telling children that puberty is an option, that they can choose what kind of puberty they will go through, just so they can choose what clothes to wear or what music to listen to. Puberty is a rite of passage to adulthood, not a disease to be mitigated. Today, I should be at home with my family celebrating my 19th birthday, and instead I'm making a desperate plea to my elected representatives. Learn the lessons from other medical scandals like the opioid crisis, to recognize that doctors are human too, and sometimes they are wrong. My childhood was ruined along with thousands of detransitioners that I know through our networks. This needs to stop. You alone can stop it. Enough children have already been victimized by this barbaric pseudoscience. Please let me be your final warning. Thank you.
Wow.
God bless her.
I know. So, I mean, bravo to both of those girls, to Riley Gaines, to everybody who has been loud about this. Because I don't know what else we can do but be loud about it.
And it's so political. I don't understand why it's so political. But Democrats are like, la, 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 la. Those girls don't matter. They just don't matter. It's crazy.
You're going to see Wesley Hunt, who is just a phenom. Like, he's
I love him.
Awesome. And he was fed up with some of the Democrats in this hearing because he's got girls. He's got 2 little girls. And he is not about to have them exposed to men in the locker room.
Oh my God. He was me in this. I was cheering for him during this. Yeah.
It's awesome. Here it is.
And I can assure you that my 4-year-old and my 2-year-old daughters will not change in front of biological men. This is ridiculous. I don't care what party you are a part of. If you think that we are all equal and the same biologically, you've literally lost your mind. And when my 2 daughters work hard in the sport, work hard in their craft to be the best that they can be amongst other women, they will compete against other women. I owe Victoria and Olivia and every other young lady in this country that. If you think I'm wrong, I am not the problem. I can assure you. We have an opportunity in this country to get this right in 2024 so we could stop all of this foolishness.
God,
Preach. Preach it.
Man, that, oh man.
And you know what? That's a real man. That is a real man right there.
Yep. Fantastic. So what you're about to see, I think this representative's name is Cohen. You are about to see his argument, his idiotic, ignorant argument, be demolished by Paula Scanlon with the help of Matt Gaetz. This is a thing of beauty.
I read Ms. Scanlon's testimony. I wasn't here to hear it, and I think Penn didn't deal with your situation like they could have and should have in putting up some type of different barriers in the women's area of the locker room.
Ms. Scanlon, we just heard my Democrat colleague, Mr. Cohen, say that your circumstance could have been fully resolved if we'd have just had some barriers up in the women's showers. Do you think that that's a sufficient way to resolve what we're dealing with here?
I think by Representative Cohen admitting that we need barriers acknowledges there are biological differences between men and women. And by acknowledging that we need to have private spaces that are separate from each other, why can't we just use the locker rooms that we've always used, the men's and the women's?
Exactly.
If you're acknowledging that we need protection and privacy from these men, then you're acknowledging that the locker rooms we've always used are the correct ones.
I mean, I can't believe he even said that.
I mean, what a freaking moron this guy is.
God, I just could not.
And furthermore,
well, maybe we just need some more barriers.
Some barriers. Maybe a barrier, like a barrier in my seersucker suit. I bet you that guy has never played a sport in his life. What do you want to bet? Oh no, I play croquet. I do. I do. I play croquet sometimes, like once a year. I do. It's competitive croquet. My God,
I love that so much. And then despite the fact that these girls are pouring their hearts out and telling their stories, which are so valid and which speak for so many other women, we've got King Penguin himself just absolutely dismissing it. God. Listen to this.
But the facts do not justify the fears that Republicans and their political allies gin up over the fairness of trans girls participating in girls' athletic teams, nor the further stigma it attaches to transgender children.
Right.
How do you say that?
Right. Because him pulling his pants up under his boobs is a competitive sport to him. That's what it is. I mean, it's like that guy also. He should not even be talking about sports. Like these guys, shut up. God. That's
oh my
unreal.
God. Anyway, that's how that went yesterday. We mentioned earlier in the show that Ron DeSantis is going to be appearing on Megyn Kelly's podcast today at noon. Here is a little preview, and I liked it only because it focuses on something we've talked a lot about, which is Joe Biden's age.
You know, Joe Biden, you're basically half his age. I mean,
he got elected as a senator before I was even born. I mean, think about how long he's been around, and clearly, you just watch him, and it's not good for our country to have a president that's floundering around like that. It doesn't project strength to our adversaries. It doesn't inspire confidence in our allies. And I think Americans look and they want to see a president that they can have confidence in. And Biden is just not that with how he's been behaving.
Holy perspective. Oh my God.
Imagine that. He was elected before he was born.
I think he's actually a little younger than us.
Yeah,
I think
he is.
Ron DeSantis is a couple years younger than us.
He's in his mid-40s.
Is he mid-40s? I thought he was late 40s. Yeah. Wow. I feel like a loser.
And then think about Vivek, who's 10 years younger than DeSantis.
Yeah. I mean, God, I thought I was a type A, and then I look at these guys and I think I haven't done much with my life. Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, right. Are you depressed now? A little depressed. I need to do more with my life. Wow. Yes.
So there was some controversy created by my future representative, perhaps. I mean, I'm going to be moving to South Carolina probably during the election, essentially, or maybe a couple months before. And so Nancy Mace is currently the representative for my district in South Carolina. And she got a lot of flack yesterday by members of her own party. Fellow conservatives were outraged because she made what some people are calling a very inappropriate joke at a prayer breakfast. So just keep in mind the audience and the event when you listen to her describe her morning.
Thank you for pulling this together. Another year, another standing room only event. And when I woke up this morning at 7, I was getting picked up at 7:45. Patrick, my fiance, tried to pull me by my waist over this morning in bed. And I was like, no, baby, we don't got time for that this morning. I got to get to the prayer breakfast and I got to be on time. And a little TMI. But he can wait. I'll see him later tonight. But I was here early today for you, Tim. And I think everybody was here early for you today.
We're here.
We probably could have gone without hearing that.
Why did she
listen? It's nice to know that she's getting it on a regular basis. I mean, good for her, right? Good for her.
Oh my gosh. Just time and place, Nancy. Time and place.
Also, she's not married yet. So
Right.
that was also like, if she was married, I probably would I don't know. Like, it's a prayer breakfast, like you said before we went on, like read the room.
Right. Like know your audience, read the room a little bit.
Yeah, you should probably read the room.
But at the same time, I do have just some affection for her. I can't help it. I don't know why I like her so much, but I do like her a lot. And she's clearly in the gaga phase of her relationship right now. She just got engaged. And so I thought, well, after that, it might be nice for us to share her being proposed to, because it was a complete shock. And so her entire team worked with her now fiance to surprise her. She thought she was filming B-roll for a campaign ad. And so she was doing all this door knocking and like talking to voters and whatnot. And so she's going to this house to ostensibly talk to a voter. But in all reality, it is her fiance waiting to propose. And so it's very, very cute. And I thought, well, this is sweet. Maybe we can forgive her for the little bit of inappropriateness, because this is a cute thing. And by the way, she did tweet after all the backlash. She tweeted out about the backlash. I go to church because I'm a sinner, not a saint. Glad that those in attendance, including Senator Tim Scott and my pastor, took my joke in stride. Pastor Greg and I will have extra to talk about on Sunday. So that's how she responded to all the backlash. But in case you're curious, I will show you her little proposal video because it's really cute.
The coast.
Got it.
When I open the door, it'll be games up.
I'm Nancy Mace, and I approve this message.
I'm actually going to fast forward because I've already given you. So she's going to this house, right? And she thinks it's a voter. And so she's like, well, maybe I should knock on the door and just let him know that we're filming first. Are you sure it's okay? I'm just going to go check. And so that's about where you're going to pick this up.
I didn't realize this was Chad's place. Oh my God.
Will you spend the rest of your life with me?
Oh my God.
That's so cute.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Are you serious? Oh my God. Oh my God.
That's cute.
It's cute, right?
They're cute.
Oh my God. I literally thought I was shooting B-roll and I'm not.
Anyway,
that's super
it's a cute little
cute.
story.
That is really cute. And it wasn't like drawn out.
No. I mean, I think the whole video I think was 2.5 minutes, and
it wasn't like some long drawn out, TikTok thing. It was just, okay, you want to do this or not? Let's just do this.
Spend your life with me, damn it.
Let's do it. Yeah. That's cute.
So,
yeah.
Somebody said, Emily, that is so mean. She's like, no, that is not cute. He's older than dirt. He looks old enough to be her dad.
That's
wow.
That's
I'm going to look that up. I'm going to look up how old he is.
That's a mean thing to say. My husband's 8 years older than me. I wonder what you'd say about him.
Wow. I mean, that was so
not very nice to say. I think they're a very cute couple.
I'm gonna try to Google because I don't even know how old she is. How old is Nancy Mace's fiance?
Yeah, and he probably knows what he's doing, if you know what I mean.
They'd been dating for 2 years. I know that. He's a Charleston person.
I think they're adorable.
I mean, I thought that they looked fairly close in age.
Jenny says her
He's
husband
a
is 12 years.
software entrepreneur.
He's 12 years older than her. You go, Jenny.
12 years? That's not bad. 12 years isn't bad, especially.
No.
I mean, they're
No,
adults.
Jenny's husband is 12 years older. Than
Oh, yeah. I'm not
Yes.
seeing
Yeah.
a.
Yeah, it's people are saying.
Wait a minute. He graduated from USC with a degree in communications in '96. He's not old.
Yeah, I mean, he's
younger. I mean, he's younger than we are.
He's
he's not old.
So you think we're old? Yeah. Watch yourself.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's not old.
Yeah,
That's
some
not
people
old
are
at
saying
all.
that their husbands are like 13 years older. It happens. People minus 14 years older. See, this is the thing. Mine's almost 9 years older
What's
than
the
me.
rule? There's a rule. There's like,
Is there a
like,
rule?
Yeah,
I don't
remember
think
you're
there should
supposed
be
to
any
like
rules.
half your age plus 7.
Yeah.
Isn't that the rule that you're supposed to use?
Mary, 12 years older, best. See, this is a thing. We're seeing a lot of that.
Yeah, I think he's probably around 50 years old, and she's definitely in her late 30s, maybe early 40s. So I don't know.
Yeah,
that
this
was just
happens.
mean.
15
Also,
older here.
I
Look
think
at all
bald
these.
Bald men sometimes do look older than they actually are.
Yeah,
because
my husband's bald.
You associate baldness with age. You know, like kind of instinctively, even though that's not necessarily always a thing. Wait, she's 45 and he's 50? What are we even talking about?
Yeah, that's just ridiculous.
Oh my God. He's 5 years older. We need to stop.
I like all the comments about the age difference stuff. This is really interesting. Our audience is so interesting how there's a lot of age difference there. I love that. My future wife is 10 years younger. That's so cool. Look at that. All
That's
that
really within
really
a
interesting,
range
you
of
guys.
reason.
Really interesting learning that about our audience. I love that. I'm a cougar. My husband is not. Yeah, Mock is a cougar.
I'm a 2-year-old cougar. Like
she's a
my
cougar.
husband's
She's
2 years
older
younger.
than her husband.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So one more thing before we get to whack, and that is there's a comedian / libertarian by the name of Dave Smith who talked. He was on the Patrick Bet David podcast, and he was talking about how messaging and narrative has overtaken communications between American citizens. It's really, really interesting. And so I wanted to share it because I thought you guys would all appreciate this. This again is Dave Smith.
Look, this was a concerted effort from the top. You can go look. There are these nexus charts where you can map out words in major publications. I'm not talking about mom and pop news outlets. I'm talking about the New York Times, the Washington Post, like the big dogs. Go track how many times the word racism was mentioned. And around 2012, it shoots up. Yep. Social justice shoots up. Transgenderism shoots up. White privilege shoots up. This was forced on the American people. Why are we having these conversations now? No, the people did not wake up one day and decide we want to have a national conversation about chicks with dicks. That didn't happen. This wasn't an organic movement. It was all of the most powerful people decided this is what we're going to talk about. And why was that? Because it's the perfect, look, when you're failing on policy, you pivot to a culture war.
Yep.
You pit people against each other, so they're fighting each other.
Yep.
We had in this country, we had an Occupy Wall Street movement where leftists were standing outside of big banks screaming, we are the 99%. Right-wingers had a populist movement called the Tea Party, where they were outraged about the bailouts of big banks, unsustainable debt, government spending. They don't like that. That's not what the powers that be like. You're getting too close. Look, they like you fighting about issues like abortion. Now, I'm not saying abortion isn't a very important issue. It's a very important issue. But us fighting about that issue doesn't scare anyone at the Federal Reserve. It doesn't scare anyone in the CIA. They don't care if you fight about that issue. They love you fighting over transgender bathrooms.
Yep.
They have no, and you can see this every day. They're stoking this culture war because they have to distract from the fact that they completely failed on everything else. That everything in the 20th century so far for America, politically speaking, has been a disaster.
It's like distracting people with a submarine.
Huh?
They distract you with the submarine, but the other issues are
Stories
going
like
on
that,
as
they
well.
love stories like that. CNN loves an airplane crashing. They love something where it'll get clicks and no powerful people will be upset about it. If they actually loved real stories that just got clicks, there's a lot of stories that get clicked. They've been passing them up for years. It's part of the reason why shows like this, shows like Joe Rogan, are taken off, because they can run stories. Hey, do you think that like people getting vaccine injured is not a story that would generate a lot of views for CNN? The vaccine that the government just mandated has hurt all of these people. That's a huge story. Why won't they run it? Because all their commercials are freaking pharmaceutical companies.
Yep.
They don't want to piss off powerful interests, so they're not in the game of that. So they have to create something for you to be afraid of. White supremacist terrorism is everywhere.
So true.
Right.
Yeah, and it all started around at the time of Obama, right?
Yep.
Isn't that interesting?
It's so weird.
So weird.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway.
there are cows on my window, you guys. They just wanted to
I
say
can't
hi.
see them.
Yeah, they're there. They just wanted to say hi.
Oh yeah, I think I do see them.
Yeah.
All right, it is time for your whack. So you want me to just share?
Yeah, you guys, I could not make this my whack. I just saw it yesterday, and I'm like, I cannot with this guy. So I can't read it from there.
It says if Biden did what Mitch McConnell did today, the media would be covering it nonstop for the next 2 weeks. But because it's a Republican, it's like nothing ever happened. The right-wing bias of corporate media is nuts.
What? I mean, David Hogg actually wrote that.
I just cannot.
I saw that yesterday and I was like, what? Again, with the projection. Like I wonder if he actually believes this.
I think he does. Now,
do you really
the
think
responses
he
are
believes
crazy.
this?
Like if you see
Oh
Dave
my
Rubin's
God.
response underneath, it just says, seek help.
I know, right? I cannot with this.
Wow.
Yeah, David Hogg is a grade A idiot. He's like one of the biggest morons. And of course he goes to Harvard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
Harvard.
that's where morons go now is Harvard.
Oh my God.
Yeah, everything is upside down. It's just this is the thing.
The bias of the right-wing corporate media. Oh my God.
What?
Wow.
I know. This is why I sent this to Mock last night. And I go, I have to have a divorce. I mean, it's like there are days where I think, no, I can live with these people. I can. And then last night I was like, no, I got to get a divorce. I do. I just can't. I can't live with him. I can't live with any of them. I can't.
I don't even know how Harvard maintains any credibility after admitting and graduating that moron.
Right.
I mean, I don't get it. I don't understand it.
So many of them. They gave an honorary degree to Ashley Judd.
Okay, to be fair, she did go through the MPA or whatever program.
She did?
Yeah, it wasn't honorary.
Yeah, but it's her.
I know. MPH, Masters of Public Health. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It is time for some My Pillow talks. My Pillow, of course, celebrating their 20th anniversary of being awesome and making the best products on the planet, including their queen size pillows, which you can now get for less than $20 when you go to mypillow.com/. Please check them out. Before I even share my screen, I would like to let you know that I have invented a new animal name, and that name is Cabot, because I have never seen a cat look so much like a rabbit.
Okay,
ever.
A Cabot. Okay.
This is a Cabot. What you're about to see, I don't actually know what breed of cat it is, but to me, it will always be a Cabot.
Oh my God, what a neat cat.
What in the world?
What kind of cat is that?
I don't know.
Hi, honey.
That's a cool cat.
That's a Cabot.
What a cutie.
I mean, it is really, really cute. So cute. Also, I'm going to need you to teach Cash how to shimmy, because this Dane shimmies. And now Cash has got some learning to do, because this is amazing. I'm going to mute it because I don't want the copyright. Look at him go.
Oh my God.
Isn't that amazing?
You know what's more amazing is how clean their windows are with dogs. I can't, this is what I'm thinking to myself. How do they have those windows and they also have dogs? Anyone?
I mean, how did you get, how did he get him to do that?
He's very wiggly. What a view. Holy cow, what a view in that place.
I know, right? It's
Good
gorgeous.
Lord. It's beautiful.
Anyway, just thought that was adorable. The dog that has the excessive case of chompies, I've discovered that her name is Libby. Libby. And she chomps extra hard when she has food that she really, really loves. And so this is her reaction to bacon. And I'll turn it back up.
She likes, who doesn't love bacon?
Right?
Bacon.
Why does she do that?
I love it so much.
I need more. She's like, I need more. Why did she? The cutest thing. It's just the cutest thing.
I don't know why, but I want my dogs to do that.
I know. It's just not
so bad.
That's not a normal thing. It's so precious.
Oh my God, the chompies. They're so cute.
She's got the chompies.
Oh my God, I love her. Also, I don't know the circumstances that were involved to create this video. I just know that it's a kitten and a baby fox, and I don't know if there could be anything cuter.
Oh my gosh.
I just can't. How precious.
Are they? Oh my gosh. The prancing and the pouncing. Let's play.
Are they so precious?
They're so cute.
So cute. I'm going to save that one. Also, I showed this to my husband last night and I asked him if this would work because, as you know, I want lots more dogs than he wants.
Yes.
He's like, we can have 2 dogs max at any given time. I, of course, would like many more than that. This woman has a suggestion about how to make that happen. Here it is.
Do you want a dog or 10, but your spouse says no? Follow my patented 3-step process. Step 1, pick up a random dog. Step 2, don't tell your spouse. Step 3, take the dog home. If your spouse is anything like mine, they'll be mad, but they won't actually divorce you because that's a lot of work. Do you?
It's so true. She's actually right about this. And then what happens is the dog ends up becoming your spouse's favorite.
This is my plan.
This is a foolproof plan. I mean, I've done this before. It's like, and then because I know your husband, I've known him since I was in elementary school. He's a giant softie.
Totally.
Like, he's not going to be able to turn down it. Like he'll be pissy and he'll cuss and he'll be all mad. And then like 2 days later, he'll be snuggled up sleeping on the couch with that dog. So there's just, I mean, I guarantee you'll be sending me pictures going, you see this? You see this? And they'll be like BFFs on the couch.
Yeah.
This is
my plan.
It should be your plan.
Once we get settled in the new house, this is gonna happen.
And make sure it's like a little chocolate lab puppy, you know,
right?
like sweet.
Well, I can't
girl.
do puppies. You know, I can't do puppies. But I'm gonna get a dog.
But maybe like an 8-month-old that's potty trained, all sweet and chocolatey. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That is my plan. All right. So get some tissue because this is precious.
Oh no.
Absolutely precious. So this is footage of a young itty bitty kid who has a coach that he loves dearly. And I guess it's the end of his little itty bitty season of soccer or whatever sport it is. And he wrote in his itty bitty little scrawly handwriting a letter to his coach that he reads. And he gets emotional, you guys. And it's the cutest thing I've ever seen.
What's in here? Avengers 2. A good coach can change the game. A great coach can change the life.
Look at the other side.
Oh my God.
Oh, he got a little note he wrote you. He wants to read it.
Oh my God, I can't.
Dear Coach Richard, you have been the greatest coach in my life. I love you, Richard. I want you to show me your game. You helped me love football again. Thank you for being my favorite coach. Love, baby.
Are you kidding?
I'm letting everyone know because I'm a big crybaby. So,
Oh yeah, but listen, sports don't matter, you guys. I mean,
Oh my
sports,
God.
right? I mean, I just can't. I cannot.
Oh my God. Just the most precious, dear,
my
sweet,
God, his
adorable
sweet
thing.
little face. I'm sure
Anyway.
that guy hates his job too.
Oh God. I mean,
God, can you even?
just imagine?
It's just the sweetest. Are you gonna get up? It's Friday. You have to get up, lazy bones. Get up.
Yeah,
Get
he's
up.
gotta. It's a weekend.
Get up and see Mama. Come on, you gotta say hi to everybody.
People
It's
are asking for Coda. Can you get Coda?
Maybe. Yeah, hold
Maybe
on.
I'll get Cash App too.
Okay, hold on. Let me see. Hold on.
Yeah, she's gonna get him. Thank you for the reminder, because otherwise we would have forgotten that we promised Coda Fridays. And we need Coda on Fridays. Wasn't that the sweetest, Kenny? I know your eyes aren't really crying, they're leaking. Oh my gosh, look at him.
I can't, everybody wanted to see him, and I can't put my earphones in. Like, look.
He's such a spaz.
Okay. Oh my God. Hold on. This is gonna end badly. Hold on.
Oh my God.
He just. Hold on.
Oh, I heard a flap. Somebody flapped. I don't know who it was. And now they're tangling. Did you see that, you guys? He's humongous. I think he's what, like 87 pounds now or something?
I can't hear. Hold on.
Uh-oh. She can't hear us.
I can't hear. I don't know where to plug it in. Hold on.
Hello, hello.
Go to wait. He destroys everything he comes into contact with. Hold on. Can you hear me?
Can you hear?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can.
What does he weigh now?
He's how old? How much does he weigh? 86. About 86 pounds.
Yeah.
And he's what, 5.5 months old? 20 weeks. 5 months old. He's 5 months old.
Who flapped? Because I heard somebody flap.
He does. Coda does like little baby flaps. And when he flaps, it's like just a sweet little mini flap sound. It's so cute, but he just destroys everything in his, anything in his path, he just destroys.
Well, it must have been Cash that flapped then, because it was a solid, loud flap.
Yeah.
I just didn't see it.
I'm sorry. That's the reason I don't have him in here in the morning, you guys, because he will just, he jumps on me, and he just unplugged everything in his wake. So I'm sorry. I can't. He's a sweetheart, but he is destructive as hell. So yeah, so that's the only reason I can't have him in here in the morning, but he's a lot of fun.
Can you get Cash?
I can't now, because now the puppy's sitting on him. Can you guys see that? The puppy is like literally sitting on him.
Wait a minute. I'm gonna widen it so people can see. There we go. There we go.
Can you see the puppy's
Oh my gosh. Look at them.
Can you see them? Yeah. He's a mess. He's a complete mess. Yeah.
He's like, I need my balls in your face.
He does that all the time. He shoves his balls in everybody's face. That's what he does. He's like, here are my balls. Here are my balls. Yeah. That's what he does. Look at my balls.
Oh my God.
Did you hear him?
Gosh.
Yeah. So he's like a hound dog too. He's very vocal. So he's a lot of fun, but that's Coda. He's giant. He's going to be about 200 pounds, and God help us. Everybody pray for it. Everybody pray for me. Mm-hmm.
It is time to bring it in.
Yeah. Cash totally just takes it. He takes it.
And now he's exhausted. He's like, that 5-minute interaction nearly wore me right out.
He's like, I'm done. I'm just totally done for the day. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, and we will talk to you on Monday.